So we haven't talked to you yet. Just why, you're the A&M defensive coordinator. Why did you want to come here and work in it?
I always thought this place was awesome. Playing against them, and then when Will got the job, and we kind of first reached out and talked, I just thought, man, this guy's awesome. And I was looking for a little bit more like autonomy in the defense side. Mike was great, but Mike's very involved, and I think talking to Will, it just felt like it was the right thing, it was the right time, and it's been awesome, right? So I'm really happy. I think things are going great.
How important for you was it? It's a new staff, and you've gotten to bring some guys, and you had this working relationship.
That was a really big part of it. It was a really big part of it. Like that was kind of the last couple of times I've been able to do this, I haven't had that opportunity, and I felt like when I have had that opportunity, we've been pretty good on defense. So that was a pretty important piece for me.
How does your connection with Coach Stein start? Was it just in this process, or did you guys?
No, I mean we had talked a few times. We'd see each other on the road recruiting or whatever. I think we knew a lot of the same people, and so I think when it first kind of started to become maybe a possibility. I think I think there was a lot of people we had that knew each other that felt it would work good, and I think it's been great.
Schematically, how do you kind of describe what you want to do out there on defense?
Well, I mean, part of it is we got to play a game here in a few months, and so I don't really want to give a whole lot away. But obviously, we had a lot of success at Texas A&M. But I think we're going to take something from there. Something I coached with Patrick Toney and Austin Armstrong at Florida, two really good coordinators. So there'll be pieces of that, and there'll be pieces of what I did when I was in North Carolina and Army. So I think there's going to be pieces of all of it that we'll try to get together and put it all together.
Final questions?
Just 3 days through practice, kind of what are your impressions of the guys?
I've been really happy with them. We are not like going slow. Like we're throwing it at them pretty good right now. And so some mistakes are happening, but I feel like our effort's been pretty good. That's kind of been my gauge. Is like, hey, as long as they're giving us effort, we can keep throwing it at them. I think the effort's been really good. I think we have some good players. And I think some of the kids that came in the portal are really helping us as leaders, the guys that have played a lot of football. But obviously we had some really, really strong personalities and strong leaders here. I'll be really excited to get Sam back. I think Sam's just a tremendous kid and a really good player. I think he's done a I don't remember ever like coming into a situation like this with a kid that I didn't really know who, like as a leader, right, is doing such a good job, even though he can't really practice right now. So, I've been really impressed with the front. I think Coach Stu's done a great job with those guys. And obviously I think Ty Bryant's like an elite leader in person and a really good player. So I think I've been really happy with them. I wish we didn't have spring break, but they deserve a little break, so it'll be good. But we'll be back at it here pretty quickly.
Speaking of that front, how important for you was it to retain Uncle Grace and take you guys into the
Yeah,
year?
we lost against Miami. I literally got on a plane and flew out to see Ryan and Keese. So really important. Look, part of the appeal for the job was I knew they had good front players, right? Like D-line make the world go round. And so I knew if we could keep these guys here, and I knew we had some resources to go get some guys, right? I think, getting big chops from Purdue has been really awesome, right? So I felt really good about once we were able to maintain those guys. And then I think we got some really, I think Lorenzo Cowan's going to be a really good player. I think C.J. Work's going to be a really good player. So I think we've got some real good front pieces, and I think that was pretty appealing to me too. Yeah.
From Will that there's not a depth chart at this point.
Yeah.
What benefits do you
I think it's awesome. So here's what's great is, when you put all the veteran guys together, they can kind of like lean on each other a little bit, which is cool, right? But now what you're forcing some of the young safeties. Martellus Carter's got to go out there and lead. Right? He's got to make calls, right? He can't just sit out there and let Jordan make all the calls, right? Or Ty. So I think you mix guys up. They get used to playing with different people. And you can kind of see who's going to step up from a leadership role a little bit. And I think it's been great. So, I tell them all the time, like, it's truly, I don't know if one team or the other has more like potential starters on it, right? Like it's pretty even. And I think it's been good competition. So I think it's a really good move. I think it's been great for us.
Jay, what was it about Hassan Sykes that you all liked?
Yeah, so, where I was at previous, we had kind of identified Sykes as a guy, who, from a little bit lower level. I just think, man, the lower level guys, when you find the guys that like their hunger and their ability to come in and really impact, I coached a kid last year named Cassius Howe who came from Bowling Green, who's an SEC player of the year, one of the best football players I've ever been around. So I just watched Sykes film, and then I think we kind of got the story about where like how he got to Western Carolina. But he's fast. He's really talented. He's played a lot. I think they did a good job coaching him at Western Carolina, and I'm excited he's here, man. I think he's going to be surprising people.
Has it helped having some guys like Florida that you brought with Gates and Castell?
Yeah, structurally and schematically, like the terminology is not theirs. So but like Jordan Castell's played 2,000 snaps in the SEC. So I just think, like today, I got after his tail today, right? And but I think our relationship's been that way for a while now. So yeah, I think it helped. I think Jordan's a really good player, played a ton, veteran, a guy that I really trust and believe in. And I think Aaron Gates, when healthy, is as good as it gets, right? So I think we got two really good players from there, right?
Those inside linebackers you had in the portal didn't play a ton last year. Obviously, were really highly ranked recruits.
Yep.
What about making that decision as opposed to getting some?
Yeah, so yeah, I really, to be honest with you, we wanted to try to find a veteran guy that had played more, and I just didn't think there were any that were good enough, right? I mean, ultimately, this isn't Little League. Like, this is the SEC, and there's a certain like height, weight, speed, physicality requirement a kid has to have. So I knew Tavion. Obviously, I remembered his brother. I was recruiting Tavion when I was at Florida. Had a really good relationship with the kid, and so when it happened, it just made sense. And I did my research. I talked to the guys at Arkansas and what they said about him. And then Bo, I recruited Bo really hard. It was like, I was starting to get a little bit nervous. We really needed another one. And then when he went in the portal, it was like, okay, like this might be the option for us. And then he came out here with his family and loved it. And so yeah, I mean, I kind of bet on the fact that we've got really good coaches and we're gonna be able to coach those guys up. But I think Antoine and Grant have been awesome. And I think they're growing so fast. I think all four of those kids are going to be able to help us, and I'm excited about those four kids.
Your early impressions from a defensive standpoint, the challenges that Will's offense.
Yeah, it's a pain in the tail. I'm glad I got to do it in practice, not in games. It's tempo. It's a lot of shifts. It's a lot of motions. A lot of formations. I've been really impressed with our quarterbacks. I think Joe's done a great job with those kids, right? They're accurate. Like the amount of stuff they're processing and doing, I think is for practice 3 is really impressive. So. Yeah, I think we're going to be just fine. Right? I think we're going to be we got some pretty good players.
What do you look for in a nickel star, whatever you want to call them?
Yeah,
what traits?
I think it's the position that affects your defense more than others, right? Because if you don't have somebody in that position that can do it, man, it becomes really difficult, right? 2024 at Texas A&M, Tyreek Chappelle, who I love, right, was our star. He tore his ACL, and we couldn't get back to we were like. Our feet weren't underneath us for the rest of the year, really. And we kind of spoke and mirrored it for a while until people kind of figured it out. But so getting Aaron was really important, right? But I think the star's got to look. The star's got to do a lot. You got to be able to play. You got to be able to play man coverage on a slot. Got to be able to be a really good zone defender, right? Be able to play in the high and the low zones of the defense, and then he's got to be a really good run defender and blitzer. So I think that guy runs it all. I was talking to an NFL guy about our kid at A&M, and. Like that guy's got to be a G, man. Like that guy's got to be he's got to do it all. And I think they're hard to find when you get a good one, man. They're valuable.
But their corners had to play a lot last year because they got a lot of injuries at that position. Can you tell that experience helped those guys?
I do.
If maybe they weren't ready for that.
So yeah, I think when you're a young corner, man, and you get thrown to the fire a little bit, it goes one of two ways, right? They either kind of get shell shocked and you got to kind of love them back, right? Or they kind of get like a little bit of like, okay, I think I can do this and get better, right? So like I've been really impressed with Grant. I think he's going to be talented. He's long. I knew him out of high school, from good counsel. And then DeMarcus Gardner. I don't think I've been. I think you said like who you most excited about, most happy about that you didn't know much about it would be him. So I think those, and obviously I think Ryan Nichols is an elite player. So, but yeah, I've been happy those guys. Nasir's doing a good job. So I think that position. I was worried about that position, but man, 3 practices, right? I feel pretty good about those guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
We'll bring Jordan up next.
Hey, how y'all doing?